There aren't many concise videos discussing much of the ice climbers, but there is a ton of information available, it just isn't very organized. I'm looking to change that with this series, where I plan to put a lot of the information in a format that's a lot more approachable to newcomers than what is currently available. To begin with, the ice climbers are the most unique character in Melee, perhaps even the entire Smash Bros. Franchise. They are the only character where you control two separate characters instead of one. They have the undisputed best punish from a grab, a pretty good neutral, and if both climbers are together, a great recovery. Because you are playing as two characters, not just one, you have access to a ton of character unique tech skill, possibly more than any other character in the entire game. In this video, I will not be going over the basic text in Melee itself, like wave dashing, L cancelling, etc., as there are a ton of other channels on YouTube that explain this already. If you want to learn this information, I recommend checking out SSBM tutorials. I'll put an annotation on screen now. In this series, I'll only be covering specific tech to the ice climbers. In addition to this, for simplicity's sake, I will be referring to the main climber as Popo and the second climber as Nana, even though on some skins, their roles are reversed. I also want to make the difference between the climbers being desynced and disconnected very clear. They are often incorrectly used interchangeably by people who aren't very familiar with climbers, but they have a very different meaning. When the climbers are desynced, that means that while they aren't doing actions at the same time, every action will be controlled by the player. When they are disconnected, Nana's AI will take over and she will act entirely independently until you can get them synced again. They become disconnected if they move too far apart, or if Nana is hit with an attack, her AI will kick in to determine DI. She might stay connected, this depends entirely on what she was hit by. Fiction made a great video elaborating on Nana's AI that will be in an annotation right now, as well as linked in the description. When I say Blizzard, that'll be referring to the climber's down B, Icicle is referring to their neutral B, Belay's up B, and Squallhammer is side B. Desyncs are one of Ice Climber's strongest tools in both the neutral game and the punish game. It allows the two climbers to act independently of each other and use different moves at the same time, so Popo can be F-smashing while Nana is blizzarding, for example. There are limitations to this, however. While desyncing, at least one of the climbers will be busy at any given time, as in they will either be using a move or in some form of lag. This means that if you are stringing together long desyncs, you may leave yourself open to attacks from the opponent. Note that Nana will receive every input you do, but 6 frames after you input them. For the entirety of this video, I'll also be assuming that Nana is connected to Popo. First I'll explain desyncs, then show ways to set up and chain desyncs. To begin a desync, you will do a setup that usually involves Nana doing a move without Popo. While Nana is busy with that move, or in lag, she'll ignore your inputs, so you are free to input a move with Popo towards the end of her move. For example, if you do a spot dodge desync into solo Nana Blizzard, you can input an F-smash at the end of Nana's Blizzard and only Popo will do the F-smash, as Nana will still be busy with the Blizzard and thus will ignore your input. If you time the F-smash correctly, Nana's Blizzard will end while Popo is busy F-smashing, so you can input a move with Nana during Popo's F-smash. This staggering of moves is what's known as a desync string. I'll now show you some of the most basic ways to set up desyncs. There are many more ways to set up desyncs than what I'll go over here, but these are some good ones to start off with. Spot dodge, roll, missed grab, and taunt desync. This is the simplest and most consistent way to set up desyncs, and the one that every ice climber is familiar with. It is incredibly easy to start, just spot dodge, and while you're in the spot dodge animation, input any attack, jump, neutral B, or down B. Doing this correctly means that only Nana will perform the move. If both climbers did their move, you did your inputs too late. This desync works identically out of spot dodge, roll, taunt, or missed grab. To keep the desync going, simply input an attack while Nana is still in lag from her move, and only Popo will do the new move. Then, if you input while Popo is in lag, Nana will attack, and so on. Using this, you can keep chaining desyncs practically forever. Ledge desyncs. The ledge quickly gets complicated when you are controlling two characters instead of one. For starters, only one climber can hold the ledge at any given time. This includes actions such as rolling onto stage and get-up attacks. Essentially, your climbers will edgehog each other, similar to how, for example, a Marth would edgehog a Fox. This can be exploited to set up desyncs, however. If you wave dash to the edge to grab it, Nana will jump back onto stage and stand by the edge. From this, you can do a regular setup, and while Popo is in lag from the get-up animation, you can input a move with Nana. If you're struggling with the timing, it might be helpful to set the percent to over 100 in practice mode, so Popo's get-up animation is slower. This is not the only way to set up ledge desyncs, however. You can also do an edge hop, where you let go of ledge, then double jump immediately, and land on stage with an aerial. If done correctly, your inputs will have been while outside of Nana control range, and only Popo will have aerialed while Nana is left standing. You can then input an action with Nana when you get close enough if Popo is still busy with his aerial. Another option is ledge jump, commonly referred to as tournament winner. Input the jump while holding ledge, then aerial as soon as Popo is actionable, and when you land near Nana you can input an action with her to keep the string going if you want. SHAC, up air and bair. SHAC is an acronym which stands for Short Hop Auto Cancel. The Ice Climbers can short hop auto cancel both their up air and bair. However, the window for hitting the up air auto cancel is very tight. You need to input the up air between frame 3 and 7 after inputting the short hop, assuming you do not fast fall. This is very difficult to learn, but it is incredibly useful to know, so you have to grind it out if you want to play the ices. Most people do it by hitting jump, then inputting the up air with the analog stick and hitting A. This is probably the best way, as it allows you to use aerial drift after inputting the aerial without being too difficult to do consistently after a lot of practice. The back air has a much more lenient frame window, and you only need to hit it before frame 16, assuming no fast fall. This does mean, however, that if you do it faster you can fast fall slightly before hitting the ground. Play around with this in practice mode. SHAC, up air and bair are very key to the Ice Climbers neutral, so get really familiar with this technique as you'll be using it constantly during your matches. I would recommend you practice this with 20xx if you have it available. I recommend turning on flash red on missed L cancel so you can see it if you missed the auto cancel. I also recommend loading into the game without Nana by pressing Z while hovering over the Ice Climbers on the correct select screen. The name at the bottom should change from Ice Climbers to Popo. If you do not have 20xx available, I recommend you get a second controller so you can load into versus mode with infinite stocks and time and kill off Nana by double jumping by the ledge and grabbing ledge on the way down, then practicing as solo Popo. If Popo falls over when landing, that means you missed the auto cancel. This has been the first video in what I hope to make an extensive series covering most aspects of the Ice Climbers. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and consider subscribing, as more videos will come in the future. Also consider checking out my Twitch, where I stream different games every day. Link is in the description. Thanks for watching.